Prediction: Ascension, love me or hate me. There's no in between. So I'm bringing you today for News 12. A young kid from Stamford, Connecticut got jammed up with a DoorDash $1 million scam. Said he scammed over 700 drivers within a 2-year period or a 1.5-year period, and open up fake accounts with DoorDash customers' information to get debit cards to cash the money and stuff. They said they seized about $736,000 from 5 safes in his house. But it's crazy though. They said he was DOA in New Rochelle complex up here in New York. He moved from Stanford to New York once he got the charges and stuff like that. He was expected in court this past Monday to answer to these charges, whether he's going to trial or going to take the plea deal. Which 730 grand, he was looking at maybe if he took a plea, they wanted him off the streets for about 6 years. That is the minimum. He's lucky. He'd have been lucky if he got the 6 years, but they said it was 4 motherfuckers that ran up in his crib, found him. They either ran up on him, shot him outside the crib or whatever. Has several gunshot wounds to the chest. DOA. This is my speculation on it, bro. Crime don't pay, because they said there's 4 individuals that's under arrest because they got the descriptions of them when they was running from the complex. It sounds like to me he owed somebody some bread, and the money got seized before he could pay them. And he probably had these dudes running around with these debit cards withdrawing money, and they was expecting another large chunk, and they didn't get it. So now they ruined their lives. They gonna be sitting up in a box for murder. They all gonna take plea deals, maybe get 12 years, 15 years because he was a criminal or some shit. But they all gonna do at least a dime a piece, unless they want to know who the trigger man was, and all 3 gonna point to one, or maybe 2 of them niggas shot him. They might be looking at 18, but their lives is ruined too. Crime don't pay, man, because everybody in trouble. They got another cop in Massachusetts stealing $310,000 in overtime. You can't do that much overtime, bro. You can't. You look stupid. You look stupid at the end of the day. But anyway, I digress. That's another story. Check this clip out.
Accused of stealing almost $1 million in an elaborate DoorDash scam was shot to death Monday in New York. This came right before he was due in court in Stamford for a potential resolution in that case. News 12 Connecticut's Marissa Alter with the latest tonight.
David Smith was supposed to appear in Stamford Superior Court Wednesday morning to accept or reject a plea offer in his case. Instead, the state's attorney's office learned Smith was killed 2 days ago. New Rochelle police found David Smith shot several times in the chest Monday morning at the Heritage Homes complex. Police said a personal dispute led to the 22-year-old's death. They've since arrested 4 men in connection.
Community members did help with this, with calls to the police of the shots and descriptions of people running away.
Smith was living in Mount Vernon. He moved there after Stamford police arrested him in June 2023 in what one investigator called the most massive scheme he's seen. Smith is accused of scamming DoorDash drivers in California out of almost $1 million. Investigators recovered a large chunk of it, $733,000 in cash, when they seized 5 safes from his apartment. Police explained how the scam worked. They said Smith would use one of his many phones to place a fake DoorDash order in California. Then when the driver was on the way, Smith would impersonate DoorDash support and claim there was a problem with the order.
He would get them to click a link or go to a website, and then that essentially would turn over their credentials, their username and password, to him. Once he was in control of that, he would change the billing information and steal any funds that they had for deliveries they had done, basically steal their paycheck.
More than 700 drivers were scammed over the course of 2.5 years. Police said Smith also stole the identities of dozens of people to open debit card accounts where he transferred the stolen money. Smith was considering a plea deal in the case at the time of his death. His decision to take the offer or go to trial had been expected at Wednesday's court hearing. The details of the deal weren't made public. As for the over $700,000 in cash that was seized in this case,
They said it was a personal dispute. Yeah, a personal dispute of niggas owing money. 4 dudes run down on you to shoot you in your chest? Nah, this shit is crazy, bro. The life of a young scammer, man. Crime don't pay, man. It literally don't. But hey, he'd maybe been able to redeem himself in the eyes of the public if he'd had another chance. But God took him early, man. It is what it is, man. Predictions Essential. Love me or hate me. There's no between. Like, comments. Well, excuse me. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Help me out with the algorithm. You already know. Check me out on X. X is where I'm at. I'm posting this video on X because, YouTube always complaining about your comments, man. And should we trust Mark Zuckerberg? I'm not sure, man. You already know.